To everyone, hi and welcome to my channel. Today we tackle, I tackle. Stay down. Goes faster and welcome back again to my channel. Today's topic, chest. We tackle the chest. So after this silly attempt to take my company over, that failed, painfully for some, you want to start with the training. And the first exercise that comes to any coach head for increasing the strength and the volume of the muscles of the chest will be chest press. So off we go. So chest press is an excellent way to develop a massive chest and big shoulders. Nevertheless, we have to be very careful not to injure ourselves, that I did several times. One of the ways that we can stay away from those injuries is stabilizing those scapula, which will be on charge on holding the shear weight steady of that bench press. On this video, I propose you a few exercises which, according to me and many other professionals, are the best exercise to enhance the stabilization and strength and resilience of all the muscles around those scapulas. Because if you want to do a long session of chest press and other exercises, those scapula, they have to be locked in that position for a long time, for many sets. So it won't be new to me that someone who has the scapula nice and tight, eventually through the session start losing that stability due to the lack of resilience of those muscles that stabilize those scapula. So work consciously on the stabilization of those things, and you will collect the benefits after. Of course, the technique itself on the bench press involves these scapulas locked, besides other things, the position of the elbows and so on. Of course, if you go a bit lower with the elbow, it will be more tension on the frontal part of the deltoids and on the bicipital tendons. If you go slightly up, probably you will be more stable, but also we have the consequence that too high will hamper a bit the acromion here. Okay, it will be a bit of a give and take between one and other technique. Personally and professionally, I feel more comfortable with slightly wider technique because I'm more stable and away from injuries. Also, the way you put the safety locks has a lot to say. I will strongly recommend you not to go as low as touching the bar on the chest. That will put a lot of stretching on the shoulders, and we don't need that to happen. Slightly over the chest, like 3 fingers, like when you do in the suit bench press, they put a table here and you have to touch and then lift about that distance in order to keep safe on the shoulders. Also, put a bit slightly higher those safety locks, precisely because in case of failure, you won't overstretch your shoulders on that dramatical failure. So you will fail and you will stay again out of the range of full stretch of those bicipital tendons and so. Enjoy the session. And don't forget with a classical move for any activity, other mental activity, other physical activity, we have to warm up. And the warming up is not only about the temperature of your body or the temperature of those joints and or muscles that we are focused today. Also about the oxygenation of the blood, that blood full of oxygen will start going all over your body. And it's also about the hormones. You, in order to pick your performance, your body will release a bunch of hormones. They will stay with you hampering around for a while, which is a good feeling after training. Dopamine and endorphins kicking in and giving us this pleasant feeling after a hard session. So go for it. And here you can see I'm going from one weight to the other weight. There's a wave on the amount of reps Sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's 6. I'm going to put that on the description. You will see towards the end of the video. And at one point, I'm going to reach my maximum working weight. And I'm going to put 3 sets of 3 reps out of that thing. But first, and if we go with only 1 rep, in order to get my neural system and joints and everything else ready for the sheer weight that's going to come for the last heavy weight that I'm going to use in today's session. But first, like I said before, we're going to go through the scapula advancement. And you see, my shoulders, they go all the way up and then all the way down. My scapula, they go to the center and down, all the way to the sides and up. This exercise is exactly the movement that we will do when we sit on the bench press in order to hold our weight. And you can see here, I show you a few muscles which are engaged in this exercise. The rhombus, the 2 rhombus, the big one and the small one. And then, of course, among other things, you have the supraspinatus, and the teres group also engaged, as you can see here in these 2 anatomical drawings. Here I'm doing the movement without the weight, and that confirms that I have the ability or the skill, I produce the skill to have control of my scapular belt. Of course, the big muscles of the trapezius are also fully engaged, and they will be fully engaged in all the sets and all the sessions to stabilize the scapula. Here we have a progression of the same exercise. Here, of course, the weight increases because it's your own body weight. Of course, the grip has a lot to do here. And we used to call this exercise the perfect hanging. You might find it in some old YouTube channels or YouTube channels that they talk about old school, or some other YouTube channels that they might be interested in this kind of exercise. And again, after I try to do it without the weight, and protraction and retraction. This protraction and retraction, besides being excellent for engaging those muscles that we will use eventually on the exercise I'm going to be doing, are also excellent for addressing the little pains under the scapula. And here we go, off with the weights that I'm going to use for the rest of the session and for the short future of the rest of my life, because I will go down on the weight eventually. And here we have another angle of another set. Same thing, scapulars are holding on, and the weight is enough for fully engage all my chest and yours. And let's drop some conclusions here. Regardless of what you want to do, either muscle mass, either strength, you need to stabilize those scapula in order to deliver the performance. Here you have an excellent way to do so, and according to me and other professionals, the best way to do so. So get it done. Hopefully this video will help you to develop that special body part that we are talking about in this video. Stay tuned for the videos to come about more training and more dieting and flexibility and mobility, another way of training depending the sport that we are training for. That will be functionality, and I'm very passionate about that. You will see in the next video. See you in the next one. Cheers.